everyone, and welcome to Comment Section, the part 2 of our DC Fandome special episode, another special episode. Thanks for joining us. We
Very
talked
special
about
episode.
a few great new announcements from that event last time, and we're going to continue down our list this time, talking about a lot of really exciting stuff, really big stuff still in this episode. So
Yes, there's one thing I've been dying to mention.
yes, we're excited. So do you want to take us into the first of our next topics?
Yes, so first thing I will mention is we had a promo for the new Suicide Squad movie. Now, a lot of us remember that Suicide Squad, not beloved, but they're doing a kind of a half sequel, half reboot type of thing. And so we had a promo come out and we had a behind the scenes type thing come out. And so this Suicide Squad movie is going to be directed by James Gunn, who, I'll be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of. I don't like the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I thought that the Guardians were the worst part in Infinity War, and honestly, take it down from being a great movie to just a good movie. I was not a fan of the Scooby-Doo movies he wrote, so I'm always a little hesitant with this Suicide Squad movie.
Understandable.
But the promo they did was not that bad. So we saw the promo showed a lot of who the cast will be of this new Suicide Squad. Unfortunately, Deadshot, like the main Suicide Squad character, isn't in this one.
Yeah.
And they said the reason was because they were thinking of recasting Will Smith's part, but they didn't because they wanted to leave the option for him to come back, which maybe you should have waited a year then, but
yeah.
Whatever. I mean, let's be honest. The first one who popped up was the breakout star. That's Harley Quinn. Margot Robbie is back as Harley Quinn. Idris Elba, also known as Charles Minor to most of us from The Office,
Yes,
will be Bloodsport, who I remember reading from I think I read his first appearance in the John Byrne era. Yes, John Byrne created him. That was a very interesting issue of Superman. Even now, it's been like 8 years since I read it, and it still stands out to me. So that's interesting that he's in there, and that they're going to try to make him into a hero type character in Suicide Squad. Interesting. It talks about how he is serving time in prison for shooting Superman with a kryptonite bullet. Wow. Also, John Cena as Christopher Smith's Peacemaker. Don't really know who that is.
Yeah.
We have Joel Kinnaman returning as Rick Flag, who's probably like the next lead after Deadshot. Here's one that was interesting. Clifford DeVoe, Peter Capaldi as Clifford DeVoe / the Thinker, who was the main villain in The Flash season 4.
Interesting.
So season 4 of The Flash is my least favorite, but I thought the villain that they had in there was very interesting. I'm assuming it's going to be more of a different character than we saw in the show, but Thinker is a very interesting character, kind of like Bloodsport is. Viola Davis is returning as Amanda Waller, along with Jai Courtney as Captain Boomerang. Maybe he'll also bring back his love of pink unicorns. I know that was your favorite part, was him holding his pink unicorn.
Definitely.
Let's see. There's Sol Saria. Pete Davidson, who I'm not a fan of, will be playing the character Richard Hurt / Blackguard. We have Polka Dot Man, the character we've all been waiting for. Polka Dot Man is coming. Let's see. Savant, Taika Waititi will have a role.
Wow.
And, well, I guess the last one I'll bring up is King Shark will be in here.
Right.
That's
Wow.
probably the one that gets me excited. 'Cause I really do like King Shark on The Flash. So,
Oh yeah.
what are your thoughts about the promo? No, they had two. Did you see the two Suicide Squad things? Or
I almost asked you about this because when I looked for it, all I could find was I actually at first thought maybe you're talking about the video game announcement. So I didn't even know that there were promos for the James Gunn movie coming.
yes,
Um so but based on that, uh that's a lot. But I mean, I also just generally, even though I think Squad is pretty cool in general, um like the oh gosh, I'm scrubbing through the trailer right now, or the
okay.
promo.
It's mostly
uh
just the characters popping up.
yeah, but it helps me to see. um yeah, that's a large cast of characters, which makes sense. But um yeah, well, like I don't have, I think that Suicide Squad is cool and everything. I just didn't like the first movie. So I mean, if this is a good movie featuring them, that'll bring it back. So that would be a great thing.
So, what is your anticipation for this Suicide Squad movie? I'll be honest, I'm I'm less interested because I'm not a big fan of James Gunn, and just the last one had Batman, Joker, so that was more incentive to go see it. So, what are your
Yeah,
thoughts about? Where's your anticipation? Because I know you're more of a fan of Guardians than I am.
I mean, I I I mean that maybe gives me a feeling that I might like it better than the first one, but I'm not that excited about it.
Well, there we go, guys.
Yeah, I'm just not that
Suicide
excited
Squad.
about it. Not that excited about it.
No. All right. Well, you lucky jerk. Did you want to introduce the next story, the big one?
Oh, okay. This is the big one. All right. So get ready. We might be talking about this for a while, but
Yes.
all right.
Hold on to
So
your hats.
you should hold on to your hat and hold on to your bat ears,
Yes.
in your cosplay, because there is for real a trailer for the Batman, and that's the mic drop. But I don't want to break this mic.
Oh, exactly. Oh, the Batman trailer.
Yes.
So, I guess since you introduced it, you can go first. What are your thoughts on the Batman trailer?
Um. So I mentioned, like, to me the by far two most exciting things from this are the Wonder Woman trailer and the prospect of how good that looks based on that, and to me the Batman trailer and how good that looks based on this trailer. It got me very excited for it, and I thought that Robert Pattinson seemed really good. It looks like, just aesthetically, like, it looks good. It's creepy. The Riddler. I mean, come on. That might have been, you might have asked what villain I want to see next in a Batman movie, and I probably would have said the Riddler.
I think I remember you saying that in the Justice League special we did.
Yeah, that is one of my favorite villains. So,
All right, guys.
I mean, yeah.
This was
Go
the
ahead.
thing I was waiting for the most at DC Fandome.
Yeah.
Counting down. There was honestly a moment where I became concerned because it was getting late into the night and it wasn't there. But then it dropped. And I knew that the 2 minutes and 20 seconds we were going to see were going to be the most important 2 minutes and 20 seconds of my life in 2020.
Yeah.
And it was going to make me say, screw this stupid year. Go to 2021 now.
Yeah.
And before I say anything, let me say this. This is honestly one of the best trailers I've ever seen. This, wow, this was the winner of DC
Yeah.
Fandome. I just could not believe it. The whole time I'm pinching myself like, oh my God,
Yeah.
they did it. They found it. This movie, oh man, screw 2020. I want 2021 now.
Yeah.
This movie, for the first time since really Batman Begins, we're seeing a new and fresh take
Yeah.
on Batman. And it's new, but it still feels so classic. Like, it feels like you're watching the characters like Jim Gordon and Batman, and they act like those characters. And like it feel now I remember Matt Reeves saying that his two favorite Batman movies were Tim Burton's Batman Returns and Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. And man, did you see that in here? Because he
Yeah.
clearly took he took the best parts of those two movies. You had the style, the atmosphere of Tim Burton from Batman Returns. You had the dark tone and
Mm-hmm.
groundedness of Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. And it just felt like a great combination of the two. And yet it's still something new. And like the opening at first, when Riddler's taping the guy's head, I'm like, wait, who's doing this? Who's
Mm-hmm.
Batman? What
Yeah.
what did you get into Alfred's wine or something? What's going on?
Yeah.
But well, first of all, I think this shows that Riddler will be the main villain compared
Yeah.
to Catwoman or Penguin.
Yeah. I know. I definitely. I think it's Riddler.
Yeah, and the version of Riddler that they have looks so cool. He almost feels like a loner Unabomb type,
Yeah. Yeah.
but he
I
still
thought.
feels like the Riddler.
I know it really seemed like such an interesting take. Really.
And I think that's Falcone we see in the trailer too, the guy with the glasses and the beard.
Yeah.
And it feels like just a guy it feels like the Riddler is obsessed with Batman, kind of
Yeah.
like Joker was in The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
We also heard Andy Serkis as Alfred, and boy, did he sound great as Alfred.
I didn't even pick up on that, but
Oh yeah, of
that's
all of
awesome.
them, he reminds me of Sean Pertwee from Gotham.
Yeah.
That's the one he most reminds me of. We had who's the guy who plays Gordon? Is it Jeffrey Wright? Is that the guy's name?
I don't know.
Let me see.
Um,
I should check.
oh right, yeah, I recognize that.
Jeffrey Wright, yes, as James Gordon. I think. Okay, it says he's commissioner, so I was assuming he was commissioner because he's more middle aged than.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's 54, so yeah, he's Commissioner Gordon. It says on Wikipedia,
Yeah.
and like we saw Batman like with the riddle. He's looking at the riddle. Oh, that looked awesome.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about Batman himself. Oh, let's also talk about Penguin. Penguin looks really good. I did not recognize that was Bullseye from Daredevil.
Oh yeah.
And we also saw Catwoman, who Zoe Kravitz looks like she'll do a great job. Not a big fan of her costume compared to the others, but I'm assuming it's more of a, well, she's starting out. Eventually, it'll look better.
My intuitive feeling was that this is like Catwoman just starting out.
Yeah. So we talked about all of them. Man, did the Batmobile look really cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we saw those set photos of the suit, and it did not look very good. But in context, in the movie, the suit looks great.
Yeah, I thought
it really does look like a combination of Keaton and Bales from The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
I think I've seen a lot of people comment about how it reminds them of the suit from the Arkham Knight game.
Mm-hmm.
which I agree with. And probably the moment, you know, I've always said, I stand by this now. Whenever you have a Batman casting people complain about, be
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah.
It's when they don't complain you should be concerned. Because now look, we even talked about like the day before the trailer. Man, it's too bad Ben Affleck won't be in the Batman.
Yeah.
But when you had the guy say, "Hey, who are you?" and Batman just fights him and then goes, "I'm vengeance," and you hear Robert Pattinson's Batman voice, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
you bought me. Robert Pattinson is Batman, and
Yeah.
I'm all in.
Yeah.
And so I think this was honestly one of the best trailers I've ever seen, and I think it looks great. It has a great tone, great just look to it. So, what do you think about the trailer? Wow, this trailer
Yeah.
wowed me.
Um, I mean, yeah, I since day one of the announcement, I would have defended the choice of Robert Pattinson because I felt like I could just see it. And in this trailer, I literally saw it. It was like um, better than I imagined it. I like it just seems like it's shot so well. Like it just looks so great and so wonderfully creepy in ways that sort of like that we know that Batman can be like in the Dark Knight. So you see a lot of that influence. Uh I don't know. Like I think I don't know why I was surprised. Like we got it just feels like there's so much more than I expected to see in this trailer. Like it felt like it didn't show too much, but it just sold me in all the right ways, giving you just enough of everything. But I would also say probably one of my favorite trailers I've ever seen too. Like I haven't been this hyped for a Batman movie in a long time. Probably not since The Dark Knight.
All right, so was there anything for now? We love the trailer. Now I've
Yeah,
gotten to the point where I have a daily routine of first thing I do when I wake up and the last thing I do before I go to bed is watch this trailer.
yeah.
Was there anything you didn't like? Because if we want to get like nitpicky, there was one thing I was just like, eh. I was not a fan of him taking off the mask and still having the black eye makeup.
Oh,
Because I'm just like, well, in the movies, that's not really, he's not really wearing makeup. It's just supposed to be the shadow because it looks better.
right. I mean, I think it adds a
I mean,
little
I
bit
can
of
accept
realism
it,
that
but
I
I'm
don't mind.
like, I don't like, I'm just like, whatever.
I think it looks kind of cool. I don't know. um, it wasn't. It's maybe it could be a little overly realistic, like because they probably have to they probably do that to the Batman actors who are in the costume. I would guess, but I don't know. It adds a shred of realism, I guess.
Yeah, but that was really the only complaint because, wow. I mean, this, it, I mean, the big thing I have to say is like, it's clearly new, but it feels so classic.
Yeah, I think that's really what Batman needed for a while. It's like there's so much potential for just a really good just solo Batman movie. There's so many good story opportunities. There's so many ways to make it feel classic, but you just kind of have to do it.
Oh, did you? There was one other thing that bothered me in the trailer. It's
Oh,
probably the biggest thing that bothered me.
really?
Yes. Makes me concerned for the whole movie, actually.
Oh,
At the end of the trailer, it says 2021, but the zeros are question marks.
yeah. Or the twos are question marks. Um,
Oh, wait, what was it? Yes, the two are question marks. Yeah, there's only 1 0.
Yeah.
You think it'll make 2021, or is that a, hey guys, we don't really know. 20? It's not 2021. It's 2021.
Well, when I first saw it, what I thought was like, okay, so they don't know if it's actually coming out in
I mean, it's clearly a
2021.
reference to the Riddler.
Yeah, but then I was like, I think that it's just a reference to the Riddler, but it was kind of a little poorly done because of the fact that now everyone's wondering if it's actually going to come out in 2021.
I saw someone online say the most honest release date was with the question marks.
Yeah.
Do you think it will be released in 2021? Because it's not like it's has a lot of CGI because it's Batman.
I think it could be late 2021 would be my guess.
I mean, the date is October 1st.
Yeah, I mean, if filming is already done, like you said, there's not a lot. I think it will.
Let's see. Well, they only got 2 months into filming. It sounds like.
Oh, so they have to finish some filming.
Yeah, it says it's gonna start in early September in London, England.
Got it. So maybe
because they took care of the virus. It sounds.
Oh
like.
Yeah, if they're going somewhere else, but
yeah, that's why I'm so glad my CW shows are Canadian.
Yeah, the entire. Oh yeah, that. Wow, television and movies and everywhere else in the world are gonna be taking over the globe.
Yes. I'm so glad it's in England now.
Yeah, they really need to set up a new Hollywood in like Vancouver or something.
So now there was also some information that came out about the Batman besides just that awesome trailer, which I promise you I will watch multiple times when we're done with this recording. And one of them was that Batman in this movie is in year 2 of his career. Yeah. So he's been Batman for a year. So it does get me more excited because compared to like Christian Bale's Batman, he was just starting out. And even like in The Dark Knight, Joker talks about, a year ago we didn't have this problem. So he hasn't been Batman for a full year yet. Yeah. So having it set in year 2 makes it so that he's been Batman. He's a young Batman, but he knows more of what he's doing. He's a more competent Batman, more classic Batman. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like that, to me, helps it a lot feel more classic because we've seen Batman's origin very recently, or feels very recent. But I feel like if you're just having this one standalone movie to make it another origin story isn't the way to go. And I think that it's also like maybe a part of the timeline of Batman that would maybe feel most classic, like still young, but knows what he's doing. And it also goes back to like how he's been Batman for a while, and now we're seeing the transition from the gangsters to the supervillains like Riddler, Penguin, Catwoman. Yeah. So the news that's taking place in year 2 does get me very excited because, like, when Gordon shows a riddle to Batman, it feels so classic. That's what I like about it. It honestly feels the most classic since the Burton Schumacher days. Yeah, I would agree. All right, and also, we finally did get confirmation that the Batman is set outside of the DCEU, which for me, I'm glad because I think that whatever happens, I'd love for Ben Affleck to come back, love for Keaton to stay on and continue, but whatever. The thing that makes a movie great isn't that it's connected, which is what some Marvel fans need to learn. Oh, X-Men Days of Future Past is crap because it's not connected to the Avengers. No. What makes a movie great is making a great movie. I don't want a movie like I wouldn't want the Batman wasted setting up a Green Arrow or
Yeah.
movie or something, or an Outsiders movie. And
Yeah.
look, nothing says you can't cross them over later.
Yeah. But at least planning to make it standalone, like to me it's going to be so refreshing to just have a superhero movie that really just stands on its own, even if they were to continue with it later.
Yeah, it's
Um
just they're
just the
focusing
fact they
on their
planned it this
story,
way.
not setting up
Yeah.
other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really hope that this goes the route of the. I really miss the days of like Batman and Batman Returns, right? That's a sequel, but Batman is its own self-contained story. It's not building up to Batman Returns. Batman Returns isn't paying off what happened in Batman '89. It's just a new standalone story that continues with the character, and
Yeah.
that's what I hope happens with the Matt Reeves Batman movies.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
So separate from the DCEU, which probably for the best, that it just focus on making a great Batman movie.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So, man, does it look so good.
It does.
All right. So, next story we have is there's a new DC live action movie in development. So, it might not happen.
Yeah.
But it's Static Shock. Now, a lot of people, most people know Static Shock from the animated series that aired in the early 2000s on Kids WB. So that was a show it was very good. In fact, I rewatched season 1. It dealt with some very heavy issues. Like there's one episode where Static realizes that his friend's dad is a racist, and it's like confronting stuff like that.
Oh.
It really did deal with some big issues. But at the same time, you also had a few episodes where he met Batman, voiced by Kevin Conroy.
Wow.
That's why I own season 2 was the first one I got, because that was the first Batman episode was season 2. So Static Shock, I really like the character. They have him right now on the Young Justice cartoon. So I don't know a lot about him, except he was created by the late, great Dwayne McDuffie, who did a great job on the Justice League television series. He wrote a lot of great episodes of that. I think he was one of the main producers. Yeah, he was one of the main producers. So great to see something Dwayne McDuffie created continue. It's too bad he's not around to see what could happen with this character. But do you know anything about Static Shock?
Not really, and I had never watched that show on the WB, so
you should watch the Batman one. It's so good.
All right. Yeah, I wasn't really familiar with this character at all, but should be interesting.
They've got 2 episodes with just Batman, 2 with the Justice League, which has Batman, Flash, Martian Manhunter, and Hawkgirl. 1 where he meets Superman, and 1 where he travels to the future and meets Batman Beyond. And there's also 1 where he meets the John Stewart Green Lantern.
Yeah.
So a lot of great stuff. Check out that the Static Shock animated show. Some good stuff. So
cool.
Well, I guess I can introduce the next one because it's for a show that you haven't watched.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So Titans is coming back for season 3, this time on HBO Max, because it sounds like the DC Universe streaming service is dead.
Yeah.
Dead. Which I'm excited because I can actually watch the show when it premieres instead of just waiting for the DVD.
Yeah.
So I really liked season 2. I thought I liked it more than season 1. I thought they did a great job of the Cadmus storyline, the Deathstroke storyline, and we had Bruce Wayne come onto the show, which is, oh, yes, Ian Glenn is such a great Bruce Wayne. So we did get some news, some Batman heavy news for Titans season 3. So the first thing is one that I'd heard earlier is that Barbara Gordon, Batgirl herself, maybe not Batgirl, maybe she will be Oracle, but Barbara Gordon is going to be on Titans season 3. Also, this wasn't announced there, but it's been announced earlier. Bruce Wayne will be coming back for season 3.
Cool.
So we have Barbara Gordon in there. So when you look at this show, first time in live action since 1997, we've had the Bat family together again.
Yeah.
We've had the terrific trio, as they called it on the Adam West Batman show. And we also have Red Hood is going to be on the show. So at the end of last season, Jason kind of left the team. Jason Todd left the team. And it sounds like he'll be coming back as Red Hood. So maybe between seasons he died. So that'll be interesting. Red Hood is a great storyline. And this is something I thought was cool. The team is going to relocate to Gotham City, which hopefully means Bruce will be in like every episode. One can hope.
Yeah.
And in this season, they're going to introduce a new version of Jonathan Crane, a.k.a. the Scarecrow, who is a villain I've been wanting to see again because I like Batman Begins a lot. Not a big fan of the role he had in Batman Begins. He was kind of just... really, as Ra's al Ghul was the villain. I wanted to see more of like a Scarecrow story, but Scarecrow is going to be in Titans season 3. So I'm excited for it. Sounds like a very Batman type season, which is what I'm all about.
Yeah.
Especially moving to Gotham City, which please, let's have Bruce in 13 out of 13 episodes. I would love that. So you haven't watched Titans, so what are your thoughts about, is going more Batman the right decision? I almost think so, because you're going to a new network, introducing it to new fans. What is the one thing people will know about? Like Titans, your lead is Nightwing. So what can you do? Add more Batman stuff.
Yeah.
That's the thing people are most familiar with. So
I think that's a good choice.
What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, it would make it seem more familiar to me too, so I think it's a pretty good choice. And like Gotham just ended, right? So
yeah.
I mean,
I think they weren't allowed to use Bruce in season 1 because Gotham was happening.
Yeah.
So I think once Gotham ended, then they were allowed to use Bruce.
Yeah, and I think I think it's a good time for audiences too. Then it could maybe bring people who had seen Gotham but not Titans into the show. But
I also like how, I mean, it feels classic, but we are getting a younger Batman in the Batman. I really like how, at least on TV, we're getting something different. We're getting like an older Batman who has the Bat family with him.
Yeah.
So, and even the show, like, because he's more experienced, he can like be more of a mentor to Robin or Nightwing now.
Yeah, I like to see a lot of these different versions.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm excited for Titans season 3. So a lot of great stuff. All right.
Cool.
Now you can introduce this next topic, but did you find it?
Yeah, this next one I did take a look at it. This next topic is there is some pretty cool concept art from the Flash with Keaton.
Flash movie. We should probably say Flash movie.
Yeah. There's concept art for the Flash movie that you can take a look at with Keaton Batman. So it's kind of a little glimpse at what we might see in that movie.
Yes.
Just concept art, but very usually when I think of concept art, I think of a little bit more scratch. Like this is really detailed, like beautiful concept art. It looks really cool.
Yeah, I thought that the Flash's costume looks a lot better than the one he had in Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look, man, that is Keaton's suit right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah, it
just
is.
looks like fan art, like from 1989. Like it looks exactly like he's got the yellow oval,
Yeah.
and I think it looks like it's the same logo. Yep, at least in the concept art, it's the logo from Batman 1989, which is the more famous of the two.
Yeah.
So
No,
I thought it looks great.
it's really cool to see um that they're kind of, really going for yeah, it's the suit. It's really cool.
Yeah. So well, we talked about a little bit. What are your? It sounds like it is confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts now that we know it's going to happen? Your thoughts about Keaton coming coming back for this Flash movie?
Um no, I think it um I mean, we talked like last episode, like I think it's a really cool idea to have a way to sort of usher in Keaton in this sort of mentor role. Um I think that yeah, I think it could really work. I think it has more potential to me to work than like Crisis, where it might just feel like a bunch of cameos. I think that from what it looks like, this is gonna be a really good storyline that he's gonna be used for. At least that's the hope. But
So now we know that Robert Pattinson's Batman is outside of the DCEU.
yeah.
Do you does that like kind of raise your thought about like maybe it does make it more true that Warner Brothers wants to have Michael Keaton in the Nick Fury type role as Bruce Wayne?
Yeah, that's uh that is one of the fact that it was announced that the Batman is separate from the DCEU is kind of the thing that makes me think something like that could happen. Um, Otherwise, I think I would have expected it to be connected with Robert Pattinson's more. But
Yeah, I think that the announcement that Pattinson is out of the DCU, I believe more in the idea that he'll continue in the DCU, Keaton will, which
mm-hmm.
makes me more optimistic because if it was just a one-time thing, I wouldn't want it to happen. But if there are plans for him to be in more movies where he'll be the real Batman going forward, I would look forward to that.
Yeah,
Yes. So that's pretty much all we have for the concept art. All right, so
yeah.
let's talk about Aquaman. So,
Let's.
king of the sea himself, well, seven seas, I guess. Aquaman himself going to be in a. We have Aquaman 2 coming.
Yes,
Now,
Aquaman
they
2.
talked about how Ocean Master, the villain from the first one, will be returning in Aquaman 2,
Oh, cool.
and that the movie will be more serious than the first one.
Yeah.
Now, for me, easily, well, I haven't seen Shazam. Aquaman is the worst of the DCEU movies. It had no idea what it was trying to be. The jokes were so bad. It is way longer than it should have been, even at 2.5 hour runtime. The plot was lame. It was anticlimactic. I did not like Aquaman.
Yeah.
But I can give them a little bit of a pass knowing the context of when Aquaman was being filmed. Because you got to
Mm-hmm.
remember, while Aquaman was being filmed, everyone hated Batman versus Superman. Justice League had fallen apart. The guy whose vision they had entrusted was fired. Batman, the main star Batman, was wanted out of the cinematic universe.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was chaos. And I felt of all of them, it showed most in Aquaman. Of it didn't know what it wanted to be. And I thought the movie was bad. But hearing that will be more serious does give me more hope. Because, man, there are so many moments. Honestly, it feels like a Star Wars. It feels like the Phantom Menace, that movie does. It's just,
Yeah.
it's rough to sit through. Like, I
Yeah.
tried rewatching it recently, and I wanted to quit
Mm,
so much. Like, I did not like Aquaman.
yeah.
So, and I thought Ocean Master, I can barely remember what he did in the movie because he's barely in it. It His role was bad. I thought he was bad in the movie. The character was.
Right.
But maybe they can kind of put it back on track because I can kind of give them a pass on this first one. I can't do that for this. If it's as bad as that first one was, then you gotta scrap this Aquaman thing. I'm
Yeah.
honestly shocked it made $1 billion of all the DC movies. It was the first one to make $1 billion, which just shocks me.
Right. That is strange, but uh yeah,
But
I mean certainly if the second one isn't good, it certainly should be the end of it, but
but I do remain hopeful. Maybe they can kind of reboot and get it on track to where I'm
mhm.
hopeful for the second one as it's more serious. If Ocean Master is coming back, give him at least something to do besides just hugging his mom at the end, who I wish had stayed dead because that's more interesting, but whatever. So, what are your thoughts on Aquaman 2? I'm hopeful, but at the same time, I really did not like the first one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that I'm excited for this either. I mean, I to me, I guess how I felt about Aquaman 1, I like to me it seemed like such a mess of a movie that I somehow kind of enjoyed anyway. But it was just so clear, like you said, there was something Phantom Menacey, where I thought there was,
Especially underwater.
yeah. It's hard to say. Like they'd have to have a lot of different factors to create something truly feeling separate from that. Um, um, like even if it's better, I don't know that it's gonna make it a great franchise or anything. So this is another one I'm just, we got Wonder Woman and Batman coming up. I'm not waiting for this really.
You know what? Since you mentioned it, we've got Wonder Woman, because I'm assuming we're done talking about Aquaman. We
Yeah.
got Wonder Woman 1984 this year, apparently. We've got Batman coming out next year. The
Hmm.
Flash, the movie after that. Say what you want about DC, what they did with the DCEU, the Snyderverse, whatever.
Yeah.
If they get all three of these movies good, DC is going to be in position we've never seen before. Like
Yeah.
if they
They could
are
really come
lined up
back.
to have something really like a golden era, basically.
Yeah. If they play this right, and it seems like they are, there could even be a switch. There could even be like people are like, well, we had our time with, we liked, audiences generally like, we liked the Marvel movies, but that seems over now. Now DC movies are good. We could see that.
If they get all three, because right now people feel like right now DC and Marvel are kind of in a starting over phase.
Yeah.
If DC gets these three right, the whatever you think about who's ahead, DC or Marvel, like if Marvel keeps putting out movies people like. Let's say the momentum keeps going. DC gets these 3 right, they're caught up. They will officially caught up. They have 3 movies that if they get them right, it will change the game. And there's rumors about like, would they do a Superman movie? They get these 3 right, and they do a Superman movie afterwards.
Yeah.
But just focusing on these 3, this is the most exciting lineup they've had since they announced the slate they did before Batman versus Superman.
Mm-hmm.
This, for the first time, feels like a plan. I mean, we're also coming off a Joker. Joker was last year, Wonder Woman 2020, right. Batman, and then Flash. 4 movies.
I think like truly, it might only take if Wonder Woman 1984 is like really good and gets a lot of buzz, critical and otherwise, that I think it might only take that for people to have a moment of, anyone else realize that DC movies have been really good?
Remember, Wonder Woman, the first one was big, but people were still not interested in Justice League.
Right.
But we look at the lineup. You got Batman. Like, those 2, they are in a good spot if they get those 2. But if they get Flash as well, definitely, with Keaton and Affleck,
yes,
it will be a game changer.
Yeah, I think so too. That's one of the most exciting things about all of these announcements is like what it means.
And like they're so like, it's not like they're just haphazard thrown together plans. Like, these are concrete plans. Like, Flash, when everything gets back to normal, we'll start filming.
Yeah.
Batman started filming. It just feels like we had the DCEU fall apart. We've been in this kind of weird transition phase with Aquaman and Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
But this feels like we're on the verge of something really special. Like, Wonder Woman's going to kick off a very special era for DC.
We can really hope. And at one point in this podcast, we were talking about, like, the DCU is dead. And
yes,
it just seems like they kind of just refreshed themselves. Really worked out.
They started over, focused on making great movies, and if these 3 are great, it will pay it off. And we're already, I mean, no one really saw Birds of Prey. We're coming off, we have Joker. They get these 3 right, that's 4. Plus, I mean, Suicide Squad is not going to be a big hit like Batman or Wonder Woman. But still, they get that one right, that's 5.
Yeah.
So, I think we're on the verge of like a golden era for DC.
Yeah, no, I think so too. I think really even if some of like, I think really all it needs is just the main one. Like, as long as Wonder Woman, the Batman are good, and I mean, probably a couple like, that's really what it weighs on the most. But the fact that they seem so likely to be good.
Yeah, like, if Flash is bad, it'll hurt a little, but it won't derail Wonder Woman and Batman.
Yeah. I think as long as those are good, and another thing that will really cement it, like, if fans generally think that the Snyder cut is like, this feels like such an improvement to me, and that sort of fan energy could probably stand out to the.
I saw some reactions to the Snyder Cut trailer. It was like we were back in 2016. Like,
oh, really? Are people not excited?
I mean, it's just wherever you want to sit. Look, I like Batman vs Superman. I like Zack Snyder, but his vision killed the franchise.
Yeah,
it just did. I'm excited for the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
but be prepared. A lot of people are not going to like it
Well,
because
luckily it's
it's
not.
just the way it is.
Luckily, it's not.
And like that's like a
Like
revisit of the
a
past.
major release. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
like
not
the
gonna
Snyder.
affect. I get it's not going to affect. Like that's also if it's bad and people don't like it, it's not going to affect this trajectory either.
Yeah, like the Snyder Cut is a vision to an era that is over now.
Yeah,
And it will be like the final it will be the final chapter, and like Flash is kind of an epilogue with Ben Affleck,
yeah,
but Snyder Cut was going to be a final chapter of an era. And I do think that on HBO Max, where fans are going to watch it versus like not as many people are going to come to see the Snyder Cut as like Batman versus Superman. So it's going to
yeah.
be more people who like Zack Snyder who watch the Snyder Cut. So it will have a better reception to the fans because the ones checking out are the ones who
Yeah.
already like what Snyder did.
Well, yeah, that's what I was kind of getting at is that it feels like it's for the right audience that it will be received by the people who watch it better than wider audiences.
Yeah.
Um, so that's a positive, but I don't think it'll affect this trajectory of a new golden age or something.
Yeah. So because we've never really had it where there were two successful DC franchises at one time. You had
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Reeve's Superman, the Burton Schumacher Batmans, the Nolan Batman, Wonder Woman. Joker's just a one shot,
Yeah.
but man, it will be 2023 when we look back will be very exciting. We'll
Yeah.
be like, what did happen? Because
Yeah. There's a lot.
we could be talking about it the way people were talking about the golden age of the MCU.
Yeah. I think so. I mean, it's kind of all accumulated in the perfect way. I mean, having a great follow up to what is generally the most beloved, I would say, DC EU movie in Wonder Woman 2, and then not too far off from that, with hopefully within a year or a year and a half away, getting a standalone Batman movie, which would be probably the hero to get the most people excited. Um, it's good timing to set up for really great momentum.
Yes, very exciting. All right, so what is the
Yeah.
next
Yeah,
one?
so we've got two more
Yes,
topics to bring up.
did you want to introduce? I think I did the last one. So did you want to introduce
Yeah.
this story?
Yes, let's I will. Okay, so this next one is another uh video game announcement. The first one, the first one was from the Gotham Knights, was from the Arkham Origins people. This is from the Arkham Knight people. Do I have that correct now?
Yeah, they did the Kevin Conroy Arkham game, so Asylum,
Yeah.
City, and Night.
All right. So this is a Suicide Squad game. Suicide Squad kills the Justice League. Is that officially the full title, or is it anyway,
That is the Suicide Squad kill the Justice League.
got it. So yes, there's a trailer for this game coming up. Looks like it's going to be a fully next gen game. I see it's going to be out on PC, but also PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series 1, which is not it's not Series 1, Xbox Series X. They have bad console names. I mean, visually looks really, I know it's a cutscene trailer, but visually looks very good. But as far as I can tell, the premise seems to be the Suicide Squad is hired on some kind of mission that, of course, at the end of the trailer, they find that they have been hired to kill Superman, who looks um a bit possessed, I'll say.
Yes. So, okay, so that was Brainiac in the beginning of the trailer. So,
Yeah.
yeah, for me, even though this is, from what I've read, it's separate from the Arkham universe,
Mm-hmm.
but this did a great job of what the Arkham games did with Batman. It basically was combine the best, basically take the animated versions and add out the best elements of the movies. And this felt
Yeah.
like that. It took like the best elements of the Suicide Squad movie, took a lot of influence from the like animated versions that we've seen, and smashed them together to make something really good.
Yeah. No, I think this looks really good. I'm looking at to get more of an idea of gameplay because this trailer really didn't show anything like that.
No, it was
I'm
just short,
yeah,
basically.
yeah. I'm surprised to see it's kind of similar.
Oh, wait, wait,
I
wait, wait, wait,
wonder.
wait, 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 wait. This is in the continuity of the Batman Arkham series.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh yeah, it is. And also it seems like it's going to be a similar, I almost wonder if it's going to feel in any way like a companion game because like it's also like this action adventure game, but it's also open world but based on Metropolis. So that's kind of interesting that Gotham Knights is going to be open world in Gotham and Suicide Squad is going to be open world in Metropolis. That is pretty cool. If you're going to make video games based into superhero realms, you'd want to do that.
Yeah, so I think that the scene we saw that they showed did a great job of showing the relationship between the main characters, Harley, Deadshot, King Shark, and Captain Boomerang. And of like, I read those are going to be the 4 characters you play as, and that's a great lineup. That to me is like classic Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it seemed pretty classic to me as well.
Yeah, so I think, what do you think about the idea of they kill the Justice League? I'll say, I think that is a very interesting. It's almost it's cool because is there a bigger way to raise the stakes than, hey,
Yeah,
you have to stop Superman, Wonder Woman, and the Flash?
yeah. No, I think they presented that in the trailer as well because they were there's kind of a like, oh, they're on some they're on some mission, and who do we have to kill? Superman. Like it's raises the stakes in such an unexpected way.
Yeah, so on Rocksteady, they've done a great job with DC properties.
Yeah,
And I I looked online and I did have it confirmed that Tara Strong
yeah.
is going to be reprising her role as Harley Quinn from
Oh,
Arkham
yeah,
City and Arkham Knight. So
yeah. Very
Tara Strong
prolific
is
voice actor.
always great. She was also Batgirl in Batman the Animated
Oh
Series.
yeah, yeah. No, I've heard her voice in so many things.
Yes. So I was on the edge of my seat, hoping for something.
Were you?
Yes. Unfortunately, Superman didn't speak in this trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, because of like how we have Tara Strong coming back, do you think, and it's in the same universe as Arkham Asylum, do you think we'll have George Newbern and Susan Eisenberg from the Justice League cartoon voicing Superman and Wonder Woman in here?
Mm. They are already showing to be reprising some roles, so um, that would be really cool. Do you it would be interesting. Like, it would be I think it would be interesting to have familiar voices for these characters, especially if they're going to like speak and be like evil versions.
And
Then
we know at the end they're going to you'll
yeah,
probably be teaming up with them to stop Brainiac.
yeah, definitely. But just in the interim before that happens, to have familiar voices would make that extra creepy almost.
All right. This is the one I've been waiting to ask. Send
All
the
right.
Arkham universe. Tara Strong is coming back.
Yep.
I mean, we don't know for sure. But can we pretty much come to the conclusion that Kevin Conroy will be back as Batman?
Oh, I I think it's pretty safe to say.
Yes. Oh, Kevin Conroy will be back.
Yeah,
I haven't said it, but I know it. I feel it in my heart.
I feel it too. That only makes sense.
Yes. So, yeah, it looks like a very interesting premise. It's great that Rocksteady is going to be doing another DC thing.
Yeah.
Yes, there we go.
All right. So one more topic.
One more
it's a big one.
topic, and then we'll wrap up with our beloved rabbit hole.
All right. So,
all right,
bring us into the next topic.
Final topic. Now, at the end of Comic-Con, we always find out what the next DC animated movies will be.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't happen this year, but they did this time. DC animated movies. The next one to come out will be that is coming out in a few weeks. It's already been out on digital. Superman Man of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Which there have been some reviews that came out for it. Everyone's talking about how great it is. It's like the origin of Superman, but still everyone's talking about how great this Superman Man of Tomorrow movie is.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And we also have the Batman Death in the Family interactive movie with Bruce Greenwood and John DiMaggio back as Batman Joker.
Mm-hmm.
But we did find what the next DC animated movies will be.
Yep.
First one up is Batman, Soul of the Dragon. The thing that sticks out to me about this movie is that this one will be produced by the man, the myth, the legend, Bruce Timm. So obviously that is the one I'm most looking forward to. And this is a great slate they have, but Bruce Timm being involved makes me more excited. So it sounds like it's going to be an original movie that has a lot of influence from movies of the 1970s.
Mm-hmm.
So, according to the premise, it's an original story featuring Batman reuniting with his former classmates to face an enemy from his past. So, besides Batman, we also have Richard Dragon appearing, who was a villain on Arrow. We have Lady Shiva, Bronze Tiger, voiced by Michael J. White, who played the role on Arrow. Sensei and the character Cobra. So, I mean, of all of them, Bronze Tiger is the one I'm looking forward the most to seeing with Batman. It's directed by Sam Liu, who's done a great job directing a lot of these DC animated movies.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it doesn't say it will be set in the 1970s, but it sounds like it will have a lot of 1970s influence.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
We're also going to get Justice Society, World War II. So, not Justice League, Justice Society.
Yeah.
These are characters who were created during World War II, but didn't transition over like Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. You had the Flash, but he wasn't the Barry Allen Flash that we all know. He was the Jay Garrick Flash, who had like the Hermes-style helmet with the wings on top.
Yeah.
We had the Alan Scott Green Lantern, who, for some reason, his suit was red and purple. I don't understand why a Green Lantern suit would be red and purple, but it is what it is.
I guess so.
So Justice Society, I really like these characters. I hope Jay Garrick's Flash is in there.
Yeah.
And it's basically just a movie set during World War II.
Right.
So that sounds really
Interesting.
cool.
Yeah, that's
I
interesting.
would love for I would love for a World War II style of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman to show up, but I'm assuming they'll just have the Justice Society.
Yeah.
Well, who knows? They could make cameos.
Yeah, I could hope.
Then came the big one. The big
Yeah.
one. You know, when they did Batman Year One in 2011, I ever since that I've been waiting for this one. It is one of my favorite comic storylines. They are adapting Batman: The Long Halloween, and it's going to be done in a 2-part movie. So this comic, The Long Halloween by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale, was basically the Bible for The Dark Knight for Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
Like, The Dark Knight is basically The Long Halloween, the movie. This movie is about Batman, Gordon, and Dent coming together to stop the rise of the super criminals, all while trying to stop this serial killer who attacks on holidays. And it is one of my favorite comics. I'm so excited that they're going to do it. And it's going to be a 2-parter. So
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about a lot of because it's a very thick comic. It's 13 issues. So you don't have to worry about a lot of stuff being cut out. So 2 movies plus Batman Year One. Nice Batman trilogy right there.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for it. So you don't watch a lot of the DC animated movies. So what are your thoughts on this upcoming lineup and what sticks out to you?
Well, I'd say probably the only one that really stuck out to me was definitely The Long Halloween. Like, even though like, just from being like generally aware of comic storylines, I know, looking at that's a big deal, that an animated adaptation of The Long Halloween is going to be a big deal. So that's definitely the one that, if I were to tip my toe and watch one of these, that's the one I would be most excited to watch. And it's also one of the, like, I would basically say, like, in terms of like thinking about going, and again, this is part of being vaguely aware of well liked comic storylines, but Year One, Long Halloween, and Court of Owls are probably the top Batman comics I am looking to read soon.
If you read Long Halloween, you should read its sequel, Dark Victory.
Oh, okay.
Which is the origin of Robin.
Oh.
So you'll have like a trilogy of
Yeah.
Batman, the rise of the villains, and then Robin.
Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah.
Also Hush. That's also by Jeff Loeb.
Oh, yeah.
So Jeff Loeb trilogy of Long Halloween, Dark Victory, and Hush.
That's pretty cool.
So, yeah. So I think this needs to be asked. We have to ask it every time there's an animated announcement. So they announced the cast for the first one, the Batman Soul of the Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And Batman will be voiced by David Guintoli. I am so sorry, David. Who is married to Elizabeth Tulloch, who is Lois Lane in the upcoming Superman Lois show.
Oh.
So when we look at Long Halloween, it has to be asked. You think Kevin Conroy will be in it?
I knew that was about to be the question. If he's not in the other one, what better one for him to be in than The Long Halloween?
Yeah, so I don't know if he will be in The Long Halloween, but oh my God, if he is, and you get Mark Hamill as Joker, oh, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, especially with what I assume to be such a Joker-centric story.
Well, it's like all the villains, but
Yeah.
Joker is the one who got 2 issues. No, wait.
Yeah.
Most of them appear in 1 issue, and then the finale, Joker had 2 of his own. So,
Ah.
and they were very good. Like each issue takes place around a holiday. So
Oh yeah.
issue 1 is Halloween, 2 is Thanksgiving, 3 is Christmas and New Year's, and Joker's in those.
That's a really
Oh,
cool concept.
remember the comic that was in the Batman Begins DVD?
Oh right, yeah.
Long Halloween is one of the issues in there. The first issue is in there.
Oh. Huh.
So there you go. No more excuses.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think he will be in the Long Halloween. I think they'll probably do like the stunt casting thing, but oh my god. One of the best storylines ever. What better way to do it than to get the best Batman actor ever to be in
Yeah.
it?
I mean, that's what I was thinking, but
All right, well, so shall we conclude this with some rabbit hole?
yes, let's wrap it up and rabbit hole it up to close us out.
All right. Let me bring up the list. Boy, man, first of all, we got to say this. What an event DC Fandom was. Like, I mean, honestly, this thing did not disappoint.
Yeah.
And they split
Pretty
up into
exciting.
2 days. Could you imagine if they had done both days?
Yeah. Wow.
What do you... Now, I'm pretty sure that the Ben Affleck thing was supposed to be announced at DC Fandom.
Yeah.
What do you think would have been the bigger story, Affleck or the Batman trailer? Because I don't know. Maybe the Batman trailer because it's something you watch versus
Yeah.
just news. But I mean, either way, Batman's future won. But
Yeah. No, I think, well, it might just be my own personal excitement, but I think the Batman trailer is the big headline.
yeah, that trailer looks so good.
Yeah.
The suit looks so much better than I thought it would too. Like the set
Yeah.
pictures, it looks really bad.
I had completely forgotten that we had discussed it not looking good in the set pictures. I was loving it in the trailer.
Yeah, it looks great in the trailer. All right. In terms of DC, what is like a movie or TV show, something you didn't like, but if they had to do a sequel to it, you'd be curious?
Actually, I might actually say Suicide Squad. I mean, I'm not that excited for the James Gunn one, but like I said, I think it's a really cool like concept. Like I like the Suicide Squad as a concept, but I just didn't like the movie. So it's like I don't like that, but you could sell me on Suicide Squad. Is basically what I'm saying. So like, impress me. if it's not good, do it for me.
You know what? For mine,
Yeah.
Because of how much I disliked Crisis on Infinite Earths, it made me reread the comic. Well, read the comic for the first time.
Yeah.
And I love the comic. So then I decided to keep the adventure going and read its sequel, Infinite Crisis by Jeff Johns.
Yeah.
And I can't believe I'm saying this, but if they were to announce an Infinite Crisis on the CW, I'd say go for it.
Wow.
Because here's the big thing. So basically the story is this. Like the big trinity, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, have turned against each other. They are no longer believing in each other.
Yeah.
And the villains have all teamed up and are wreaking havoc on the city. Unlike Crisis, which was like every DC hero ever, there's only one guest star in Infinite Crisis. And it's the Golden Age era Superman from the 30s and 40s, who you could give that role to Brandon Routh, who was by far everyone's favorite guest star.
Mm-hmm.
And it's about how in Crisis on Infinite Earths, it's complicated. I'm going to try to keep it as simple as possible, people, okay? Imagine there were 2 Earths, okay? Earth 1, Earth 2. Earth 1, this is Christopher Reeve Superman, okay? No, Earth 2 is Christopher Reeve Superman. Earth 1 is Tom Welling Superman. So, multiverse is destroyed. Earth 2, gone. And Christopher Reeve Superman saves the day and gets to live in a paradise thing with Lois. And a good version of Lex Luthor and a version of Superboy.
Mm-hmm.
So then there's this Earth that Tom Welling lived on, which is being rebooted into Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
And the Golden Age Superman looks at what is going on, how the heroes have turned against each other, and it's just like, we saved the wrong Earth. So he's going to try to bring back his Earth. And here's the thing. Lex, the Lex who was good, has shown that he is really evil. And the Golden Age Superman's Lois is dying. And Lex has convinced Superman that the only way to save this Lois is to bring back his Earth. So right there, you have great character motivation about why Superman wants to wipe out that Earth and bring back his, because it will save Lois, and he's doubting that these were the right heroes to save. At the same time, we find out that the Lex Luthor who is telling him to save Lois is the one who turned all these heroes against each other.
Yeah.
So you have like one Superman. You would only have one guest star, which would be the Brandon Routh Superman. Yeah. And I think with a story like that, the characters distrusting each other, getting to like more of an emotional story about how it's not like this Superman just turned evil. It's about him trying to save his Lois. And then when he finds out he's been duped, he's been tricked, the 2 Supermen, the real Superman and the Golden Age Superman, go after Lex, and it's awesome.
Yeah, that does the fact that there would be less cameo fodder would definitely take away a lot of the problems. And they already have even if it was bad, the first part of the story is there. So
I think they could do it. I think honestly, getting rid of all those cameos and just having Brandon Routh Superman, they could do something really cool.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yes. Plus, we can fix a mistake and have Kevin Conroy play a good Batman.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I don't know if you'd be able to do this because this is more of a comic question, but is there a Batman storyline that you haven't seen adapted anywhere that you would want to see adapted?
Yeah, I don't know that I can answer this. From I wonder if this is your answer, but from hearing the pitches for them, I think Court of Owls sounds awesome. I would love to see that. But I couldn't give too good of an answer besides what my feeling is, which is that.
All right. Well, I can't say Court of Owls because they did it in an animated version and on Gotham.
Right.
So I can't say that. But the one I would want to see is called A Lonely Place of Dying. This is like basically the origin story of Tim Drake, the third Robin. Basically, where Jason Todd has died, Batman and Nightwing aren't speaking to each other, and you see Batman is close to going over the edge. And Tim Drake is begging Nightwing to go back to being Robin because Batman needs a Robin. And then when it doesn't work out, like eventually like Dick will go and as Nightwing to help Batman, and you see them kind of repair their relationship, and Tim Drake becomes Robin. It's such a great storyline, so full of like emotion and heart. Batman at Lonely Place of Dying, I would love to see that.
That sounds cool. Yeah.
Yes. I'd love to see Tim Drake in live action. I would love to see the Batman family. Well, I guess we will in Titans, but like in like a movie, like you have Batman, Nightwing, Robin, Batgirl.
Yeah.
That'd be so cool.
Sounds like a good idea too. Yeah.
All right. This one, I don't think you'll be able to do. Superman storyline you want adapted?
Oh yeah. Couldn't even name one.
Okay. Mine is Superman Up, Up, and Away, which is a sequel to Infinite Crisis. So if they did Infinite Crisis on the CW, this could be like a
Oh.
two-parter for the season premiere of Superman and Lois.
Oh yeah.
So in Infinite Crisis, Superman and the other Superman fight an evil version of Superboy on a planet with a red sun, like Krypton had. So Superman loses his powers for 1 year.
Oh,
And it's basically the world is like, so basically during the DC comics during this time after Infinite Crisis, they went a year without the Trinity in the story.
I see. Yeah.
Basically the comics skipped a year and we saw what happened because it was about Batman building. He leaves Gotham with Dick and Tim to kind of rebuild the Bat family. Wonder Woman, I think, goes back to Themyscira. But Superman has lost his powers for a year.
That is interesting.
And you have it where, like, people don't know if Superman... People really think Superman is not coming back. And you see there's, like, a moment where, like, Clark tries to help someone and he gets beaten up. And there's, like, nothing he can do about it because he doesn't have his powers. And Lex Luthor doesn't think Superman's coming back, so no one can stop him. And we have it to where Lois kind of doesn't want him to get his powers back because she doesn't have to worry about Superman because he did die at one time with Doomsday. So she's worried about that. And then it's about him gaining his powers back and Superman coming back. So Superman Up, Up, and Away. That is one I would love to see.
That's a really interesting storyline, taking the power away for a year.
I think it was the
concept to me.
Yeah, I think it was the first Superman graphic novel I ever got. Yeah, it was awesome. Do you have any comic storyline, Marvel or DC, you'd want to see adapted that hasn't been adapted?
Marvel, I feel like most of the ones I've read have been adapted. Maybe more of the original Spider-Man run, but just more of it. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like for example, like the Death of the Stacys storyline that you talked about, of course.
Which they did in the two Amazing Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, that was kind of adapted, and that's one of my favorites. I don't know if I can think of one that wasn't. I guess if I were to say similar to Batman, like one that is like a feeling, like I'm just like, this seems cool, and I'm interested in reading it. I haven't, but I'd like to see it on screen too. Then I would say like Kraven's Last Hunt.
Oh yeah, we haven't had Kraven in a movie yet.
Yeah, which would be cool. So,
all right. Now people are excited for Robert Pattinson's Batman. Would you want to see his Batman versus Joaquin Phoenix's Joker?
It would be. Yeah, I think I would. I think it like because that trailer seems like it has a creepiness to it, an eeriness. So does Joker, and it would be really cool to see like Joker was like, we didn't see Joker fully as the villain yet. I mean, he was villainous, but you know, he didn't to see him going off against a Batman would be a sight to see.
We saw him dance a lot though. Maybe they could have a dance contest.
Yeah.
Joker going da, da, and Batman doing the Bat 2C.
Or it's just Joker dancing and Robert Pattinson staring like he is which looks like it looks like he's at a funeral or like in a church or something. He's like standing there with sort of, he looks pale with the long hair in the trailer,
Oh yeah.
just staring
He's not,
bleakly.
I don't know where he is, but he's like, yeah, he's
Yeah.
out somewhere as Bruce Wayne.
Yeah. Just imagining him staring and Joker just dancing.
Like, oh my God, Joker, it's trot,
Yeah.
trot, shuffle, not shuffle, shuffle, trot.
Yeah. That wouldn't be that hard of an edit to do, actually.
I would love to see someone do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like the Joker movie a lot, but I kind of felt like Joaquin Phoenix was just fine as Joker. His like performance didn't blow me away like Pattinson in the trailer did.
Yeah.
So I think I'd rather see someone else play Joker. Plus,
Mhm.
I mean, it doesn't matter for Joker because we're not going to see it. But continuity of like Joker being that so much older than Batman opens a can of
That's
worms.
yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, if they wanted to do like, if that was their influence for Joker, then I'd be fine. But I think I'd rather see something. I'd rather see like, because of how much I love what it looks like Matt Reeves is doing, I'd rather see
Mhm.
what his version of Joker would be if he gets around to it.
Yeah. That would be really cool to see too.
When do you think he would do Joker? I would say maybe third movie.
Yeah, I would say definitely not the second. I would say if at all it would be the third one.
All right. Is there an so all these rabbit holes are DC because this is DC Fandom
Yeah.
Day. Is
Yes.
there a DC character not in a planned movie you'd want to have in a movie?
Uh
Like they're not in the movie slate at all, but you'd want to see them in a movie.
right. Um well, with the deeper DC characters, my only exposure to many of them is through games like Injustice and and such. Um I really liked Supergirl in those games. So to see a Supergirl movie would be really cool.
Yeah, I think, although I would say, I think it would be better to introduce her in a Superman movie and spin her off.
Yeah.
Versus, I think it did hurt the Supergirl first season. So I just think it's easier for like a Supergirl or Robin to be introduced in a Batman thing or super. I think it's easier
Yeah.
for them to be introduced in the main character's film and then spun off.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think Supergirl would be cool in a movie.
Mhm.
The one I would want, we're gonna go very CW. If you said Supergirl, I
Sure.
want Green Arrow in a movie.
Oh yeah.
I just Green Arrow has, even before the Arrow TV show from like Smallville was like, has been like in my top 4 favorite DC characters.
Yeah.
So Green Arrow is the one I would love to see him kind of like the character we saw in the 80s comics.
Yeah.
Like there's some comics from like 1986. They're really good. They're some of the best DC comics I've ever read. Some of those
Really.
80s Green Arrow comics.
Hmm.
All right. Is there a DC character not on television you would want to see? So not
Um
currently on television. We got a lot of DC shows, so chance they might be on there.
I mean the 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 answer I want to give like is kind of a cop out because I feel like what I'd want to see is like a proper live action Batman show. Like
I mean, he is in
not
Titans, but yeah, standalone one.
yeah, a standalone Batman show. Um that would be like an almost like a um what's it is oh it, what's the opposite of serialized anyway.
One
um
shot,
yeah, like it would be
standalone.
yeah, like standalone mysteries with an overarching serialized plot. That would be really cool.
Yeah, I would love like a actual Batman show, but I don't see it happening. It would take
Yeah.
like the thing of like Superman. That was like the film franchise has tanked.
Yeah.
Like you had Superman Returns, Man of Steel, BVS, Justice League. None of them were beloved,
Yeah.
and I don't see Matt Reeves as Batman killing the movie franchise.
Yeah, no, I absolutely don't think it's going to happen, but that would be what I'd want.
Did you hear about the Gotham PD show they want to try and do?
Oh no.
On HBO Max, they want to develop a show about the Gotham Police Department set during Batman's first year.
Interesting.
So I'll be honest, for me, I don't really care because,
Yeah,
like,
I don't.
my sister would be like, "But you watch Gotham?" I was like, "No, no, 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 no. There's a big difference." And like for Gotham, the Fox people described it perfectly. Gotham was not a spin-off of the Batman franchise. Gotham was the Batman franchise. You had Batman, Catwoman, Joker, Gordon. It was just backed up in time.
Mm-hmm.
This was Smallville's Batman, or a Smallville version of Batman. This
Yeah.
show is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. of Batman.
Yeah.
So I just don't really care.
That kind of sounds like I don't really like police procedurals as it is. It sounds like you're making a boring version of Batman.
And like he wouldn't be in it at all. They would just talk about him.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what seems so boring about it to me.
Yeah. So for me, I don't really have any interest. And like if it's good, I'm glad people like it, but I just don't care.
Yeah.
All right. So what is the next one? Oh, the one I would want to see is The Question. The guy with no
Oh,
face, a conspiracy dude.
yeah.
That's what I would want to see. All right. Man, some of these are really not for you.
Yeah.
All right. We got the Superman Lois TV show coming.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a Superman villain you would want to see in there?
Yeah, this is one of the heroes I know least about. I'm not familiar with that many Superman villains. That always feels like something you gotta like get into the comics for, and I haven't even seen. Like, I'm most familiar with villains that have been in movies, and uh I since I haven't read any Superman comics, I haven't been introduced to any other villains besides like Lex Luthor. So, um, I don't know.
All right. The one I would want to see is Bizarro. So do you know who Bizarro is?
Kind of actually.
Yeah, if you
You've
Google image him,
jogged my memory. Yeah,
he's like a clone of Superman that Lex Luthor tried to make, but it didn't go the way they were expecting. So
yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember this. Yeah,
yeah, Bizarro is the one that I would want to see. Not necessarily the comedy the kind of dumbed down comedic version, which I love in the comics, but Smallville did a really good job when they did Bizarro on there of having him like sinister and evil and stuff.
yeah,
So that's the one I would want to see.
yeah.
All
That
right.
would be interesting.
What would you say is the best era of comic books, at least for DC? So,
Mm,
man, this one seems obscure, but okay. We have the Golden Age, which was World War II. There's the Silver Age, which were basically the 50s and 60s. There's the Bronze Age, which were the 70s and early 80s, and then there's the modern age of mid 1980s to now.
hmm I mean, I honestly have to say, like, with like, if we were talking about Marvel comics, which we're not,
No.
I would say much earlier. I'd say earliest almost.
So
But
you're
I
well,
kind of
Marvel
like
wasn't in the golden age, so you probably say Silver Age.
Yeah, but with DC, well, with DC, I actually feel like I like newer ones a lot more. So I'd say Bronze Age.
Yeah. So for DC, the Bronze Age is 70s and 80s, 70s to mid 80s. Are you going with that or the
Oh,
modern
sorry.
age?
Modern age. Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
I missed what the Bronze Age definition was. I do mean like 1980s and onward.
Yeah, for me, I gotta go the same thing. Like, I
Yeah,
love the Golden Age. Bronze Age was pretty cool. Silver Age is all right. That was clearly Marvel's time to shine.
yeah,
But I just you look at some of the stuff they did. It's in the modern age. Like, they've done so much great stuff. Like,
yeah,
from Batman Year One to John Byrne's Superman to George Perez's Wonder Woman to like Court of Owls, Death of Superman, Under the Red Hood, No Man's Land. Just so much great
yeah.
stuff. All right. When will it be time to bring Superman back to movies? So we've had it, unfortunately, in our lifetime, there hasn't been a beloved Superman
Hmm.
movie. I was in the last Superman movie was 2017 Justice League.
Yeah,
I would say wait until season 4 of Superman Lois, because season 121 will be 2021 to 2022. So that would be 2024. It
yeah,
will have had a break for a while from the movies, separation from the Snyder movies,
yeah,
and we'll have had people who have become more fans of Superman from the Superman Lois TV show. So I would say
yeah.
around 2024.
Yeah, I was thinking something like I think I was thinking something like 2025, like somewhere around the middle of the decade, just because that would give time for a lot, to get the ball rolling on a lot of these. Like, if this is going to start a golden age, like we were hoping, these upcoming films, then I think like later in that is when you would start thinking about adding Superman back in, to distance a little, um, from the previous iteration.
All right. So, what villains would you want in the Batman 2? So, what is a villain who has been in a movie before that you'd want to come back? And then one choice who's just completely new villain we haven't seen before.
Yeah. So you're getting Riddler, and I take it a little bit of a Penguin in um
And Catwoman.
yeah. Hmm. I mean, I always like the idea of more Two-Face. I think it would be great. Like, just one of my favorite um villains. But yeah, I guess I think I would want to see. I think I would say Two-Face if he's not. I don't want him to be secondary again. Like, fully Two-Face.
Yes. So, do you have a new villain who we haven't seen before?
Oh, never seen before in any live action.
Well, at least in the movies.
Right. I mean, let's see. I'm actually gonna look up Batman villains. What haven't we seen? We haven't seen Hush. Um, we haven't seen. Oh, Killer Croc. I
Oh,
remember.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. Actually, it'd be an interesting way to pull them together. Um, Looking at this list, I think I'm realizing that also with Batman, I'm mostly familiar with the villains that have already been on screen. Like, the comics I've read have had Two-Face, Joker, I not that familiar with any of these that have never been on screen before or in the movies. That is.
All right, for me, the one I would want to see come back is Two-Face, especially because
Yeah.
we all we've had of Two-Face is really that little bit in Dark Knight. I would want a fully formed Two-Face, no origin story, just
Yeah.
like in Batman Forever, they talk about he's been around for 2 years. There we go.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
one we haven't seen, I gotta say Court of Owls. That's the one I'd want to see in a
Yeah.
movie. I think it'd be so cool.
Guess I should have said that after I thought it sounded cool. But
Yes.
like I said, I haven't read it, but that'd be awesome.
All right. What is the comic storyline you would never want to see adapted?
Hmm. Um, trying to think. I haven't read since I haven't read storylines that I think are terrible before. So I'm trying to think if there's something that I just think wouldn't be adapted that well. That it just wouldn't translate that well. But I don't know if anything comes to mind. What was yours?
For me, as much as I love a lot of Frank Miller's work, is the book The Dark Knight Strikes Again. It is, without a doubt, the worst comic book I have ever read.
Oh.
It is, in my opinion, the worst thing to ever happen to Batman.
Oh, wow.
It is truly terrible. It does not have much of a plot. It's like Batman will fight a person, and he uses his cape, which is now sharp, and draw a Z on a guy's face.
Why?
Like Zorro.
Why? Just as a reference to Zorro?
I guess so. Well, I mean, that was the last movie he saw with his parents, but I don't understand it. Even Carrie, the Robin character, Carrie Kelly, says, why did you do a Z? And then Batman just smiles. And I was just like, what's going on? And there's like this weird thing, like 4 pages of Superman and Wonder Woman getting at it. And she talks about how, oh, Superman, you can repopulate a whole planet because I'm pregnant again. And it's like, what? And which in the third one, they never talk about, but whatever.
That sounds so weird.
And there's like a moment where, so we have this new Joker because Joker died. The real Joker died in Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
And this new Joker's revealed to be Dick Grayson, which is awful. Like, no. Yeah. And there's a moment where he gets decapitated and he's holding his own head and yelling at Batman. It's awful. It's terrible. I've heard stories that there was a lot of drug use while making the comic.
Oh, wow. It's like the late 80s Stephen King novels.
You know what I did here, which might give a different spin to it. It's from a podcast that a fellow comic book writer, Grant Morrison, did with Kevin Smith.
Oh.
I don't know how much of this is true, but I think I remember him talking about how the book was basically Frank Miller as he's doing a lot of drugs and just throwing crap against the wall.
Yeah.
And then as he's making it, out of the window of his apartment, he's seeing 9/11 happen.
Oh.
And like in the book, there's this big moment where the Daily Planet is destroyed.
Oh,
and
wow.
See the reaction to it.
Yeah. Interesting.
And it doesn't change it from being terrible, but
yeah.
Although it does do one thing I've been waiting for.
Oh, really?
The death of Shazam. There's a moment where Wonder Woman says, "Just turn back into Billy Batson," and Shazam says, "Wonder Woman, Billy's dead." And then she goes, then let out one last cry like a warrior. Not go to the medic and save yourself. Just let the lightning bolt kill you. And he goes, Shazam! And then it strikes him and he's dead.
Wow.
That was the one good thing about it.
It still sounds so weird.
It's a truly horrible book. If you ever see it in the library, do the world a favor and destroy it. Because it's truly terrible.
Great advice.
All right. Here's a little thing to throw at you.
All right.
What is the best Batman DVD cover?
Let me.
Now, we've had, let's see, we won't count Suicide Squad or Joker, but we had 4 plus 3 plus, so 4, really 10? Would that be it? 4? The 4 movies plus the 3. Oh, it's 9. Okay.
Yeah.
7, 9. I will say, for me, it's the version of Batman Forever. It's the version of Batman Forever. Where you see Batman, Two-Face, Robin, Riddler, Chase.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, that one's really cool.
Blue 4K covers of those movies suck.
Oh no.
Have you seen them?
I don't think the Blu-ray covers.
The 4K.
Oh, 4K covers.
They do not look very good. They're just heads.
Oh, I see them. Like it has like a white background.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like those old ones look so much better.
Yeah, it seems like they're going for more of the minimal thing. I do like kind of minimal things, but this goes too far in that direction. I think I like the Batman Begins cover quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
At least there's a version I'm imagining. I don't know if it's
is it the one where you see like this much of him, or the one where he's like falling to the audience?
I think it's the falling one. I'm imagining more Cape. That he's like in motion or something.
Yeah, I think I know what one you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's a pretty nice cover.
Yeah.
All right. If you could own a screen Batman suit to display in your house, like you have it in a nice case.
Yeah.
Which one would you want to own?
Wow. I swear we've had this exact question before.
Maybe we did, but times have changed.
Yeah. I'm curious if it's findable on the podcast, if I'll have the same answer. And I just have it in my mind.
I think we said which one was our favorite suits, not which one did we want to have on display.
That's true. I think just after that Flash concept art, I want that yellow circle. I think I would want to have the Michael Keaton suit.
Which one, Batman 89 or Batman Returns?
See, this is where it sounds familiar, because even I'm more familiar with 89, but I feel like I remember having this conversation, finding that I might have liked the Returns one better. Offhand, I'm just gonna say the one from 89.
All right, I will also go with the Michael Keaton one, and is from Batman Returns. That one, I think that it just like the cowl looks the best, the symbol on the insignia looks the best. So, Batman Returns for me.
Yeah.
All right. If you could own a screen Superman suit to display, which one would you want?
Interesting. Actually, I mean, it might be a shocking answer, but I don't know if I'd necessarily like a Henry Cavill one that's a little less harsh on the blue might be kind of cool.
The one I would choose is the one from Superman Returns, because it's also the Smallville suit that Tom Welling had in the finale. So there's extra emotional attachment there. Plus, it really looks cool. So I'd go with the Superman Returns Smallville one.
That's a good answer. Better answer, even.
All right. There's going to be a Justice League 2. Not really, but let's just pretend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only one character from the first movie can come back. Who are you choosing?
Okay. I have two schools of thought in this that I'm trying to balance. One of them is Batman seems so essential and I would want to see Ben Affleck come back, but the other is how how it would feel like if Wonder Woman 1984, like continuity wise, like, or not continuity, like the direction the movies feel like they're going in, I feel like it would make most sense for Wonder Woman to be the only one coming back.
Yeah, for me, I gotta say Ben Affleck's bad. I can't skip
Yeah.
it. I can't
Yeah.
skip it. All right. Now, we have the Batman coming now, a new iteration of Batman. Should Warner Brothers should they try a new creative team behind Henry Cavill's Superman, or should they just start completely from scratch like the Batman?
Right. I think completely from scratch. I think I mean it's not that there's not potential for a different creative team to make it good, but I just think that it would fare better to have a fresh take and a fresh person in the role.
Yeah, for me, I'm not a big fan of Cavill's performance as Superman, even in like when Justice League, where I thought they pretty much nailed the character.
Yeah.
But I just think it's best to, for like getting it back on track, it's to say this is new, having a new face would be best overall.
Yeah.
And I don't think having someone from 3 movies that people didn't like is the right answer. And it's just,
Yeah.
he's had his time, you
Yeah.
know? He was Superman 3 times. Not a lot of people can say that.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's just time.
Yeah, no, I
It's
agree.
time to move on. And I think holding on to him would just be for the sake of, hey, it's in part of the DCEU,
Yeah.
which I think is just not beneficiary to the movie.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
think you need a fresh start.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I will say this. I'm not a fan of Cavill's performance, but I love the passion he had for Superman. Like
Yeah.
when you read interviews, he talks about how he sees Superman. I love the passion this dude has. I'm not
Yeah.
a fan of his performance, but I love the passion that he had.
Mm.
But I just think it's time for someone new, and it's just time to move on and start over.
Yeah.
All right, last rabbit hole.
All right. Here we
We
go.
got 4 upcoming DC movies, I believe. Let me check to make sure it's only those ones. List of films based on DC Comics. Okay, 3. Oh, they don't have Flash on there yet. Oh well, we know it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
We got 4 of them coming out. If all of them turn out to be great, well, first of all, which one do you think will be your favorite? Which one do you think will turn out the best? Wonder Woman, Batman, Suicide Squad, or Flash?
I mean, it's definitely between Wonder Woman and Batman. I think I'm gonna say for the creepy factor, I think the Batman probably be my favorite.
Yeah, I think for me, Batman is going to be like the best one. I mean, you got the best superhero ever.
Yeah.
And I mean, of all, Batman is the easiest one to adapt. Like, and I don't say this to be insulting, but yeah, I'll always be thankful for his first two movies. But you listen to Christopher Nolan, he knows nothing about Batman. He doesn't understand anything about the character.
Mhm.
But he made two good Batman movies because it's such an easy character to adapt.
Yeah.
So I think it's got to be the Batman.
Yeah.
Now, if all four are great, people love them,
Yeah.
which one do you think has potential to be the best? I'll say, if all four are great, I'm a little torn between the Batman and Flash. Like, if they truly nail it,
Yeah.
but that's a
Uh,
big if.
if I think that I think the one that has potential to be the best, like it could win out, would be Wonder Woman 1984. I think, and I think it could have potential to be critically viewed that way as well. That's if they're all good. I just think for my taste, I'm more thinking that I'll like the Batman more. But
So, of all, you think Batman will be the, even if all four are great, you think Batman will be your favorite?
I still I still think so. Uh I don't see the Flash or anything. It would be surprising to me if it won out over the Batman.
Yeah, I am torn though. It's like I don't think it will be because I got burned with Crisis, but
Yeah.
man, if they get it right, that it could be great.
I guess what I'm saying, like, if I could flash forward into the future, when both the Batman and Wonder Woman 1984 exist, and I find that I like Wonder Woman 1984 more, I wouldn't be surprised. I expect to like the Batman more, but I wouldn't be surprised. If I had heard that my favorite of all of them was the Flash, I would be more surprised. I'd be like, huh, that must be a really good movie.
Yeah. So guys, there we go.
There
To
we
our
go.
DC fandom special. Boy, did live up to the hype. We heard it was going to be their answer to Comic-Con, and boy, did they deliver.
Yeah.
So there we go, guys. Our special episode has now come
Yeah.
to a close, a natural close.
Yes, a very special episode. This really does almost feel like the replacement for the Comic-Con special.
I know. Maybe if we'll see what announcements they do for day 2.
Yeah.
If there
We'll see.
if there are, and when is day 2? I should check that real quick. DC Fandome. Let's see. It doesn't say. DC Fandom Day 2. That's what I want. Fandom Day 2. What? It's not say. Wait, expands to 2 days. When is the next one? Oh, let's end with this. Any big announcements you think could happen for day 2 of DC Fandom?
What else could there possibly be? I don't.
Okay, September 12th.
Oh, okay.
So we'll see. Anything big you think could happen? Any big thing?
I'm having a hard time imagining what other big thing there could be. I would maybe think more closer looks or something, but I don't even know what another movie announcement would be if there's something like that.
I mean, for a big movie, the only one I could think of is Superman, but I don't see them doing that.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't know. I guess we are left to ponder and wonder.
Yeah, I know. It's surprising there's a day 2, but stay tuned.
I know. I almost think they would have been better off just doing it in one day because I don't know what else they have planned.
Yeah. We'll see.
All right, guys. Well, we are left with a gift of wonderful stuff
Yes, we
from the
are.
Batman to Wonder Woman to the Snyder Cut trailer with Hallelujah.
Yes.
Boy, are we left with some great stuff. When I'm done with this, I will be watching that Batman trailer another time.
Yes, go for it.
Yes.
And thanks for listening all the way through this. So it's very exciting. A lot to talk about.
Yes, so much great stuff, guys. So, as always, you find that great stuff, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find a little hole and you'll fall down it and keep falling. Why? Because you have fallen down that rabbit hole and you will keep falling down it.